throw it over to you, Nicholas. Give us an example. You gave us a great state of the state. Tell us about a specific program you'd like to highlight.
Yeah, Luke, thanks. I think there's always a theme when we talk about a special program or a special aspect of cloud computing or whatever topic we're talking about. There's always a theme that comes up, and in this one with cloud computing, I think the theme that's slightly bubbling to the surface here would be quantity. Lots and lots and lots of data that we now have the ability, because of cloud computing, to calculate against and to act against in a cost-efficient and effective way. We didn't used to have that on-prem, going through hundreds of millions of rows. As it was mentioned by Dr. Mays and by Michael, it was very difficult to spool up on-prem resources just for a big compute action and calm those things down when you were done. And one of the places that Snowflake has had a huge impact in our relatively brief time in public sector is fraud, waste, and abuse programs. This is a lot of data from a lot of different sources coming together in a single place and being worked on and looked at as, looking at human behavior is extremely difficult to predict and extremely difficult to categorize. It's why cybersecurity attacks have been so successful for so long. It's very difficult to get ahead of everything a person might do. And so bringing more data, as much data as we can, to bear to that problem and look at behavioral analytics and kind of churn through this data and look for things that are wrong. For example, it's very easy to say that somebody didn't have a hip replacement in California and Florida in the same day, right? You're either the most unlucky person on the planet or that was a fraudulent transaction. That's very easy for a lot of data and a lot of compute to pick out. What's even more difficult, though, are teams of people working together to defraud certain programs in the government. That takes a lot more data from a lot more sources and a lot more observations to really detect the patterns that tell us that fraud, waste, and abuse is occurring. So I think, there's a lot of, we could go on and on and on. Somebody mentioned COVID, there's health research, there's all these great programs that are coming out there that Snowflake has very happily been a part of. But I think the one right now that kind of strikes a chord with cloud computing for me is fraud, waste, and abuse.